Okay, Noah, we're back for the rest of the lesson because the iPad stopped again. So I don't know what you missed out on, but we had said that another way would be to use a number line to subtract this. But do we just put random numbers all over our number line?
No.
No. How should we organize our number line? If our last number is 525 on it, do we want to put every single number on there?
No.
I don't want to have to count out 525 lines. Do you?
No.
No. So what could we do, Connor?
We could write the, so you count by tens and write the tens spots.
You could. Would that still be a lot to have to fill in on here? Could we go even bigger? What could we go by then? What do you think, Kaylee?
You could go by like 50,
Could go by 50, so 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, and so on, up to
or you
500.
could even just go by hundreds.
Or you could just go by hundreds. Okay.
She took mine.
Oh.
Go by hundreds.
You were thinking hundreds too. So some of you are kind of on the same track. So should we just start out with hundreds?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll say this would then be, what would this be?
200.
No.
213.
100. 0.
0.
0.
Okay. What would be next?
100.
There you go.
100.
100. I don't know if I'm spacing this out well enough. Next.
200.
Then.
300.
Then.
400.
Oh, I didn't space it out very well.
No, 300.
I'm gonna have to go off the paper here because this one actually needs to be,
500.
yep, 500. And then shortly after 500, what will it be?
525.
Then 525, right? Okay, so if we would do this, number lines can be kind of tricky. What's halfway between each one of these? What number is halfway between all of our hundreds? What's the magic number?
5.
50, right? Between our hundreds, it's 50. So halfway here is 50. Halfway here is 150. Halfway between here is 250. Then 350. And then 450. Do we have to do 550?
No.
No.
That'd be too big.
All right. What is halfway between the 100 and the 150, or the 0 and the 50? What's the halfway number between those? Does anybody know? Think about if you have 2 quarters, you have 50 cents. But if you take one of those quarters away, how much do you have? 25. So you're halfway between all of these, then is like another quarter. Okay, so 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175. It's just like counting quarters. Number lines take a while, don't they?
Yeah.
To figure out. If it's not already made for you, they take a while. But like when you're doing them on iReady, do they a lot of times already have the number line created for you?
Yeah.
Yes, thankfully. Do you sometimes?
And what if you had to make everything?
That would take a while. Okay, so we are at 525 and we need to subtract, I don't know if you can see it up here still, 213. Okay? How many hundreds do we need to take away?
2.
2 hundreds. So if we are at, I'm going to change my color here. I'll go black. If we are at 525 and I go back 100, where would I need to stop? If I take away 100, where would I stop at? Where would I stop at? If I have 525 and I take away 100 from that. What do you think, Connor? Oh, I think you just said it. What were you thinking?
425.
425. So there's minus 100, but I have to subtract another one because I'm subtracting 200 from it. So 425, subtract another 100, and I'm to 325 now.
Yeah.
So I've taken care of the hundreds. Now I need to, oops, I crossed it out up there. Now I need to subtract my 110. Ooh. Now I'm gonna have to do individual lines in there, aren't I?
Oh.
If I take 110 away from 25, where is that gonna take me to on a number line? If I have 25 and I take a 10 away, where does it take me to? Amy?
It would take you to, it would be 15.
Yeah, it would take me to 15. And I'm just gonna kind of guess where 15 is, okay? So this would be about 15 here, we'll say. Kind of where I put that little dot. But am I done? No, because now I have 3 ones that I have to take away. So I'm at 315. And if I take 2 ones away from there, where do I end up? It's gonna be like right here, but what is that number going to be? Oh, I wrote the answer up there instead of what I'm supposed to subtract from it.
And what if you wrote 2 instead?
If I have 5 ones and I take 3 away,
2.
okay, so I would end up at 312. Thankfully, when you're practicing in a book using a number line, they generally have it created for you. Okay.
Most of the time.
All right.
And this if you use it.
It's easy if you don't have to draw everything like I did.
Wait, you drew everything?
Let's go ahead and take a look at this page.
Whose paper is that?
Oh, no, it
Wait,
went really
let me
small.
check. Mine.
Okay, so regrouping. Do we do regrouping with addition?
Yeah.
Do we do regrouping with subtraction?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do it with both of them, don't we? All right, so if we're talking about regrouping, what does that mean? What are we doing when we regroup? Connor?
It means you're going next store and borrowing something, but in subtraction,
That
you're
was a
taking something.
You were right though, because with subtraction, you are going next door to borrow it. Okay, and you are taking it, but are you just like stealing that number and never giving it back anywhere?
Nope.
No, you're breaking it apart into smaller pieces to fit in the right place. So let's say for this definition, because this is set up a little differently than our other one was. For the definition, for subtraction, can everybody read that, or is it too small back there?
No, I read it.
Is it kind of small? Okay, let me do this. Ooh.
big wobbly.
That's big.
And then after we write it, I'm gonna have to clear out my boxes to be able to move things around then, okay? But then this way everybody can see it okay. So definition of regrouping when we subtract. So we'll start with subtraction first, because we are going to fit in subtraction, and we're also going to do addition. Okay. And it's quite simple, really, and you do this without even realizing that you're breaking things apart when you regroup. So in subtraction, you change a 10 into how many ones? Change a 10, 110, remember that's the long skinny one? You break it apart into how many ones? 10 ones. Change a 10 into, what would be the best way to write that? Into, we'll use the digit 10 this time, into 10 ones. But we can also change change 100. What's going on? Change 100. If we have 100, how many tens could we break that into? It's always 10, isn't it? Into 10 tens. Okay, does everybody have the subtraction part?
No.
Because now we're gonna go on to the addition part. Now, in subtraction, when we're regrouping, we usually have to go like left to right to borrow those numbers, don't we? But when we're adding, we're going right over to left when we do our regrouping, like when we have to carry those numbers up above there. Okay, so in this case, then we would change ones into How many tens would that change into?
10.
If you have 10 ones, the little ones, 10 ones, you would change it in for 1 10. What if you have 10 tens? What can 10 tens change into?
100.
Into 100. And then I'll get out of your way, Jenny. All right, everybody have that?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to the illustrations that show regrouping. Illustration means what?
Pictures.
A picture or a drawing, right? So let's set it up as like a bigger ones, tens, hundreds chart. We're actually gonna turn it like into a, oh, forgot that I don't have it on the pen. Get it on the pen, Mrs. Lofink.
What is it telling Taco when you turn it on the pen?
I don't know. So let's draw our chart here. And we're gonna go ones, tens, hundreds. That's a bad age, but it gives you an idea. Okay, so ones, tens, hundreds. Let's say that we have 12 ones. These are all ones. You don't have to label them if you don't want to. let's say that we have 12 tens. And then we'll say we have, I don't know, 300s. There's different ways to regroup. I could regroup like I'm saying that I have too many in my ones place, and I'm going to regroup some of those over into my tens place. How many ones would I need to regroup over to my tens? Just one? One of these moves over here?
No.
How many ones does it take to be able to move it over to the tens place?
10.
10. So let's circle 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And where are we moving these 10 to?
To the
tens.
To the tens place. So now I have another 10 here, don't I? Are they still in the ones place anymore? No. I've moved them
Can we cross?
to the tens place.
And
If you need to, so that you can visualize it better, if you want to cross that out saying they're not in the ones anymore, it's now in the tens. Could we do that with some of our tens?
yeah.
How many tens would we need to be able to move it over to the 100?
10.
10.
10. Do we have enough?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 there. Where do those 10 tens move to now?
The
Over to the hundreds. So now I have another 100 here. Do I have them in my tens anymore?
No.
No, they were regrouped. Okay, I think our brains are on subtraction and regrouping overload for today. So it's a good thing that it's almost lunchtime. Do you agree? Whoops, where'd that go? Sorry. I agree with you as well. So what we'll do is we can finish this another day. So close your notebook. Sorry, that's not a notebook. Close your workbook and put it back in your crate.